Hi everyone, I'm Carrie Hunter and I'm going to read from this edition, which is Vintage International Edition with my grad school tabs. I took a class at New College here in San Francisco in the Poetics program, but this was in the Irish Studies program. They had a class on Yeats and Joyce. And we read the whole thing, so that was cool. I'm going to read from chapter 3, the first part, Ineluctable Modality of the Visible, my favorite line. And I'm not going to read the whole thing. I thought I'd just do like 15 minutes. Although I see some people are doing really long, I can't read that long. Okay. And I'm going to try my best with the pronunciation. It gets a little weird. Ineluctable modality of the visible. At least that if no more, thought through my eyes, signatures of all things I am here to read, sea spawn and sea wrack, the nearing tide, that rusty boot, snot green, blue silver, rust, colored signs, limits at the diaphan, but he adds in bodies. Then he was aware of them bodies before of them colored. How? By knocking his sconce against them. Sure, go easy. Bald he was, and a millionaire, maestro de color quesano, limit at the diaphan inn. Why inn? Diaphan, ediaphan. If you can put your 5 fingers through it, it is a gate. If not, door. Shut your eyes and see. Stephen closed his eyes to hear his boots crush crackling rack and shells. You are walking through it howsomever. I am, a stride at a time. A very short space of time through very short times of space. 5, 6, the Nakanander. Exactly. And that is the ineluctable modality of the audible. Open your eyes. No. Jesus, if I fell over a cliff, the Beatles or his bass fell through the Nebuchadnezzar ineluctably. I am getting on nicely in the dark. My ash sword hangs at my side. Tap with it. They do. My 2 feet in his boots are at the end of his legs. Nebuchadnezzar. Sound solid, made by the mallet of Los Demiurgos. Am I walking into eternity along sandy Mount Strand? Crush, crack, crick, crick. Wild sea money. Domini DC kens them a. Won't you come to Sandy Mount, Madeline the mare? Rhythm begins, you see, I hear. A catalectic tetrameter of iambs marching. No, a gallop. Deline the mare. Open your eyes now, I will. One moment. Has all vanished since? If I open and am forever in the black ediaphan, basta. I will see if I can see. See now. There all the time without you, and ever shall be, world without end. They came down the steps from Leahy's terrace prudently, Frauenzimmer, and down the shelving shore flabbily, their splayed feet sinking in the silted sand. Like me, like algae, coming down to our mighty mother. Number 1 swung lordily, her midwife's bag. The others, Gamp, poked in the beach, from the Liberties, out for the day. Mrs. Florence McCabe, relict of the late Patrick McCabe, deeply lamented of Bride Street. One of her sisterhood lugged me squealing into life, creation from nothing. What has she in the bag? A misbirth, with a trailing navel cord, hushed and ruddy wool. The cords of all link back, stranded twining cable of all flesh. That is why, mystic monks, will you be as gods, gaze in your omphalos? Hello, Kench here, put me on to Edenville, Aleph, Alpha, Not, 1, spouse and helpmate of Adam Kadmon, Heva, naked Eve, she had no navel, gaze, belly without blemish, bulging big, a buckler of taut vellum, no white-heaped corn, orient and immortal, standing from everlasting to everlasting, womb of sun. Wombed in sin, darkness, I was too, made not begotten. By them, the man with my voice and my eyes, and a ghost woman with ashes on her breath. They clasped and sundered, did the coupler's will, from before the ages he willed me, and now may not will me away or ever. A lex eterna stays about him. Is that then the divine substance wherein Father and Son are consubstantial? Where is poor dear Arius to try conclusions, warring his life long on the contrans magnificand and Jubing tangiality? Ill-starred heresiarch, in a Greek water closet he breathed his last. Euthanasia, with beatered mitre and with crozier, stalled upon his throne, widower of a widowed sea, with upstiffed amaphorion, with clotted hinder parts. Airs romped around him, nipping and eager airs. They are coming, waves. The white-maned seahorses champing, bright wind bridled, the steeds of Mananan. I mustn't forget his letter for the press, and after the ship, 12:30. By the way, go easy with that money, like a good young imbecile. Yes, I must. His pace slackened here. Am I going to Aunt Sarah's or not? My consubstantial father's voice. Did you see anything of your artist brother Stephen lately? No? Sure he's not down in Strasbourg Terrace with his Aunt Sally? Couldn't he fly a bit higher than that, eh? And tell us, Stephen, how is Uncle C? Oh, weeping God, the things I married into. The boys up in the hayloft, the drunken little Costor and his brother, the cornet player, highly respectable gondoliers, and skew-eyed Walter, sirring his father no less, sir, yes, sir, no, sir, Jesus wept, and no wonder, by Christ. I pull the wheezy bell of their shuttered cottage and wait. They take me for a dun, peer out from a coign of vantage. It's Stephen, sir. Let him in. Let Stephen in. A bolt drawn back, and Walter welcomes me. We thought you were someone else. In his broad bed, Uncle Richie, pillowed and blanketed, extends over the hillock of his knees a sturdy forearm. Clean-chested, he has washed the upper moiety. Morrow, nephew. He lays aside the lapboard whereon he drafts his bills of costs for the eyes of Master Goff and Master Chaplain Tandy. Filing consents and common searches and a writ of deuces tecum, a bog-oak frame over his bald head, Wild's resquicat. The drone of his misleading whistle brings Walter back. Yes, sir? Malt for Richie and Stephen. Tell mother. Where is she? Bathing Chrissy, sir. Papa's little bed pal. Lump of love. No, Uncle Richie. Call me Richie. Damn your lithia water. It lowers, Wusky. Uncle Richie, really. Sit down, or by the law, Harry, I'll knock you down. Walter squints vainly for a chair. He has nothing to sit down on, sir. He has nowhere to put it, you mug. Bring in our Chippendale chair. Would you like a bite of something? None of you damned la-di-da air here, the rich of a rasher fried with a herring, sure. So much the better. We have nothing in the house but backache pills. Alerta. He drones bars of Fernando's Aria di Sortita, the grandest number, Stephen, in the whole opera. Listen. His tuneful whistle sounds again, finely shaded with rushes of the air. His fists, big drumming on his padded knees. This wind is sweeter. Houses of decay, mine. His and all. You told the Clongowes gentry you had an uncle, a judge and an uncle, a general, in the army. Come out of them, Stephen. Beauty is not there, nor in the stagnant bay of Marsh's library where you read the fading prophecies of Joachim Abbas. For whom? The 100-headed rabble of the cathedral close. A hater of his kind ran from them to the wood of madness, his mane foaming in the moon, his eyeballs stars. Hui him, horse-nostrilled, the oval equine fair's temple. Buck Mulligan, Foxy Campbell, Lantern Jaws, Abba's father, Furious Dean, what offense laid fire to their brains? Paf, descende, calve ut ne nimium decalveras, a garland of grey hair on his comminated head, see him, me clambering down to the footpace, descende, clutching a monstrance, basilisk-eyed, get down, bald pole. A choir gives back menace and echo, assisting about the altar's horns. The snorted Latin of jack priests moving burly in their albs, tonsured and oiled and gelded fat, the fat of kidneys of wheat. And at the same instant, perhaps a priest round the corner is elevating it, dring-dring. In 2 streets off another locking it into a pyx, dring-a-dring. And in a lady chapel another taking housel, all to his own cheek, dring-dring. Down, up, forward, back. Dan Occam thought of that invincible doctor a misty English morning. The imp hypostasis tickled his brain. Bringing his host down, and kneeling he heard twine. With the second bell, the first bell in the transept, he is lifting his. And rising heard, now I am lifting. There are 2 bells, he is kneeling, twang and diphthong. Cousin Stephen, you will never be a saint, Isle of Saints. You were awfully holy, weren't you? You prayed to the Blessed Virgin that you might not have a red nose. You prayed to the devil in Serpentine Avenue that the fuspy widow in front might lift her clothes still more from the wet street. Oh, see, certo. Sell your soul for that, do. Dyed rags pinned around a squaw. More, tell me, more still. On the top of the health tram, alone crying to the rain, naked women. What about that, eh? What about what? What else were they invented for? Reading 2 pages apiece of 7 books every night, eh? I was young. You bowed to yourself in the mirror, stepping forward to applause earnestly, striking face. Hooray for the goddamned idiot. Hooray, no one saw. Tell no one. Books you're going to write with letters for titles. Have you read his F? Oh, yes, but I prefer Q. Yes, but W is wonderful. Oh, yes, W. Remember your epiphanies on green, oval leaves, deep down, deeply deep, copies to be sent if you die to all the great libraries of the world, including Alexandria. Someone was to read them there after a few thousand years. A Maham Manvantara Pico della Mirandola like. I, very like a whale, when one reads these strange pages of one long gone, one feels that one is at one with one who once. Thanks.